Nurses, midwives insist strike continues despite minister's claim. 5 killed in fresh bandit attacks on Katsina communities. Fuel marketers caution as Dangote moves to supply directly. On the foreign scene, Angola protest death toll climbs to 30. Good evening, this is on Trust TV. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. We'll start off with the situation going on in the country, the industrial action embarked upon by the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, NANM, has been called off. The Minister of Health, Ali Pate, has disclosed. Speaking to journalists after a closed-door meeting on Friday, Pate said the decision followed agreements reached with the leadership of the Nursing Association. However, the leaders of the union declined to speak on the matter after the closed-door meeting on Friday afternoon. Nurses and midwives under the association had commenced a warning strike on July 29, 2025, following what the union described as the government's failure to respond meaningfully to its 15-day ultimatum issued on July 14, 2025.
Our colleagues, Nigerian Nurses Midwives Association, and we addressed the issues that they had raised, and we're very pleased that they have agreed to call off the strike, to put the Nigerian patient at the center of our attention. We thank the President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, for his leadership. And we encourage all health workers to adopt the same pro-social collaborative approach to lean in to iron out very long-standing issues. Some of the issues that have been raised have been on the table for many years, but we're glad to have made significant progress, and that the transformation of Nigerian health sector will continue. Years of relative peace, and for the nurses in particular, this short warning strike, I think, brought certain issues that were present. There were establishment issues which we've now addressed.
In the meantime, the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Federal Health Institutions sector, has refuted claims that it has suspended its ongoing nationwide 7-day warning strike. In a statement, the association clarified that the industrial action, which commenced on Wednesday, remains in force. The union said it would only review its stance after assessing the government's offers during a closed-door meeting with the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Ali Pate, held on Friday. National Public Relations Officer of the association, Omomo Tibebi, and National President Rilwan Morikayo both affirmed that no decision had been taken to call off the strike. The warning strike was declared to press for long-standing demands, including a review of shift and uniform allowances, creation of a distinct salary structure for nurses, adjustment of core duty allowances, mass recruitment of nurses, and the establishment of a Department of Nursing Services within the Federal Ministry of Health. Joining us via Zoom to give more insights on this is the National Chairman, National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Federal Health Institutions Sector, Olajide Morakinyo. Good evening and thank you for joining us on News Hour tonight on Trust TV.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We seem to be having different news and information coming on from different sides. The Minister of Health is saying the strike is being called off, and your people are saying the strike isn't called off. What is the true position of things?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. The meeting was actually concluded with the Honorable Minister by the leadership of the association, but they have to come back to the National Executive Council meeting for feedback so that we can review the outcome of the negotiations to either to suspend the strike or to sustain the strike. So the strike is not yet suspended.
Okay, So the stance of the association is that the strike is still in force and not yet suspended.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in the meeting so far, what could you tell us? Were the suggestions and the discussions had with the minister, did it meet the demands or the reasons that this strike was called for?
Oh, yes, the item on our demand is going to be ratified by the highest decision-making body of the association very soon, probably tomorrow, to do that, to review that.
Okay. Now, how has we noticed some of the videos we've seen so far, what happened in the hospitals when you people went to strike. How has the emigration of nurses, especially moving to other countries, how has this impacted the work of nurses in Nigeria?
It's actually not it's a pathetic situation, which we are actually not happy about it. But fortunately, we don't have any option. That's the last option we have at this particular time, because our demands have been there, reoccurring year in, year out, without any intervention by the federal government. So after exhausting all the avenues to ensure that these demands are met amicably, after serving government a lot of, I think twice, serving government with the notice of strike. But this time around, we don't have any option than to embark on that 7-day warning strike.
So far in the conversation you had with the
we're telling the generality of Nigeria that we are sorry, it's not in our attitude to leave our patients to suffer or to leave them without anybody to take care of them. But unfortunately, this time around, our members are tired and they have to resort to this last option. So we are still assuring them, once the outcome of the meeting, of today's meeting, then we'll get back to the public.
Okay, can you tell us of any agreed timeline from the meeting you had today to so far implement your grievances?
It's going to be tomorrow. To meeting is scheduled for tomorrow morning, by God's grace.
Could you repeat that, please?
Pardon?
Could you repeat yourself, please?
The time?
Could you repeat what you said, please? Could you take that again?
I said the meeting. Yeah, the meeting to review that is scheduled for tomorrow.
What I'm asking is, from the meeting you had, you were at the meeting with the Minister of Health today, I believe.
No, I wasn't there. It's the leadership, the highest decision-making body. The leadership were there. Okay. I wasn't among them.
Oh, okay. All right. So far, hopefully when the executive committee meets tomorrow, we'll have more information on this agreements that have been put forward on the table. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on News Hour, giving us your insights on the situation.
Thank you very much.
Still staying with the situation, in Lagos State, general hospitals look very deserted as nurses are absent and doctors are only attending to existing patients. The situation is a result of the ongoing industrial action by nurses and midwives across the country. Victoria Tokolo, Wuvista Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, brings us more on this report. Her report is presented from our studio.
On Wednesday, nurses under the umbrella of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives commenced a 7-day nationwide warning strike at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASU. The impact of the strike is very much evident in the hospital from the entrance of the hospital. It is observed that existing patients who visited hospital for treatment are only being attended to by the few doctors present.
Well, I've been here since 8 o'clock and I came doctor's appointments and yeah, the doctors attended to us. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing. No other activity. Even till now, this is almost 2 p.m. and there's been nothing much happening. But I've been able to see the doctor and I'm done. I'll be leaving soon.
It's the doctor also. There's calm. I do not no single nurse. And you know, without nurse, the doctors cannot do anything because we needed a file. and they've locked up everyone, packed up every file. So it's what we were using before, that they just added something. That's all. Karma. I do not yes.
Submitted on the 18th, on the 18th of July. So on Monday, we asked to go and come back when they resume. But we are asked to come for clinic this Friday. That's why we are here. And we've seen the doctor. He has attended to us, has examined and wrote some drugs for me again to be taken at home before Friday.
Patients are calling on the government to do the needful and ensure nurses return back to work, as their absence in the hospitals are being felt by patients.
Moving away from the nursing situation, still in Lagos State, academic activities have been grounded at the State University following the commencement of an indefinite strike by staff unions. They aggrieved staff down tools on Thursday over unresolved issues with the university management, comprising the Academic Staff Union of Universities, the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, Non-Academic Staff Union, and National Association of Academic Technologists. The Joint Action Committee announced a decision in a letter dated July 31, 2025, addressed to Vice-Chancellor Professor Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello. The notice on Friday was signed by ASUU LASU Chairman and Secretary Professor Ibrahim A. Bakari and Sylvester O. Ido, as well as SSANU LASU Chairman and Secretary Oluwaseyi Lawal and Wahid Wajekudomi. They directed all members of staff of the university and its affiliate campuses at the Lagos State University College of Medicine, LASU Ikeja, and Lagos State University Ekpe campus to withdraw their services and vacate their official duty posts with immediate effect. The university students were supposed to commence the 2024-2025 second semester examination next week, Monday. In security matters, bandits, numbering about 300 on about 35 motorcycles, wielding dangerous weapons, including AK-47 rifles, attacked 3 communities, killing 6 people in Sabuwa local government area of Katsina State recently. The bandits attacked 3 wards, all in Sabuwa local government. Abdullah Yamadi tells us more.
According to reports from the affected communities, 3 survivors who sustained gunshot wounds have been hospitalized, while 2 were treated and discharged at Sabo Hospital. Eyewitnesses who confirmed the incident said residents were mourning the killing of their loved one, as at the time of Trust TV's visit to one of the communities. I am one of the eyewitnesses to the recent attack on our community, in which our brother was killed. They also rustled over 10 cows. My younger brother was wounded. We commend the swift response of our security forces who foiled the abduction of our loved ones. According to local sources, following the swift intervention of combined team of security forces, women and children abducted by the bitter bandits were rescued and hurt. Buhari Zagi, who was among the over 30 people abducted, narrowly escaped from the hands of the bandits, commending security forces under Sabuwa Divisional Police Headquarters for fearlessly confronting the hoodlums. My brother was shot dead during the attack, and the entire Zagi community is mourning. If not because of the swift intervention of security operatives, only God knows what will have happened, because the bandits came at night. At the moment, we are getting relief because our council chairman has promised to ensure constant surveillance by our vigilantes and our security services.
Amma cikin taimakon Allah, Allah ya taimake mu da taimakon jami'an tsaro.
Our prayers are that let there be peace and hope the current trend in the fight against banditry by our security forces will be sustained, believing that constant prayers and our cooperation among stakeholders can change everything. However, the bandits reportedly shot and destroyed 3 tires of one of the armored personnel carriers on rescue mission to Zege community Sunday night. Sabuwa local government, which is one of the 5 major areas being terrorized by bandits in Katsina State, had enjoyed relative peace over the last 3 months due to proactive measures and coordinated synergy among the stakeholders. In the same vein, bandits attacked Kasuwar Shanu in Funtua town, inflicting gunshot wounds on 1 person, abducting about 5 residents and rustling animals in the process. Similarly, bandits riding on motorcycles strike Hain Dambirni in Goya ward of Funtua local government, killing 1 Isya Haliru, in addition to abducting the chief imam of the village Wednesday night. The recent resurgence of bandits terrorizing farming communities has disrupted social and economic activities of the residents, making life unbearable. In a statement released by the police spokesman in Katsina, DSP Sadiq Aliu confirmed the attacks, saying the command succeeded in foiling 2 separate bandits' attacks in Sabuwa local government area, rescuing 28 kidnapped victims and recovering some rustled cows. Despite series of successes being recorded by security agencies in the fight against banditry, Katsina residents are not comfortable with the current security challenges facing people in the southern part of the state.
Katsina, the government has reiterated that insecurity bedeviled the state is community-based and the solution must be community-driven if residents must enjoy peace. The Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Nasiruddin Musa, stated this at the press briefing held at the Government House, Katsina, coordinated by the Information Commissioner, Balasali Suzango, on Thursday. Speaking of the complexity of the crisis in the northwest region, the government said it is quite different from what is obtained in other parts of the country, soliciting for genuine cooperation, especially from the affected communities, to succeed in the fight against banditry.
Katsina State has fortified and enhanced the 3-tier security structure that we inherited, the 4-tier security structure. Within that, you have so many people trying to cascade information to the grassroots level. So we will continue to do that for people to understand their roles and responsibility in addressing the menace of insecurity in this state. We will continue to do it. It's a good suggestion, and we have been doing it. And I believe, yes, we need to do more so that people will be kept abreast, people will be galvanized into action. So this is a good one. Inshallah, we are going to do it. Statement in the context of security, in the context of coexistence, is very important. We are not accusing anybody. We are saying, let's put our house together.
A civil society group, the Zamfara Circular Community Initiative, has raised the alarm over rising insecurity in the state, which has forced more than 55,000 residents to flee their communities in Bukium and Guzo local government areas. The group is accusing the Bola Tinubu-led federal government of neglecting Zamfara people at a time of urgent need and is calling for decisive intervention to halt the worst security crisis. Here's more in this report.
The recent killing of over 35 kidnapped victims by armed bandits and the displacement of more than 55,000 people in 15 communities across Bukuyum and Gusau local government areas have sparked outrage and concern from stakeholders in Zamfara State. One of such stakeholders is the Zamfara Cycle Community Initiative, a local advocacy group that is warning that the security situation in the rural communities has reached a breaking point.
The attacks in Zamfara State have escalated alarmingly, with a more notable increase in frequency and devastation. For example, Fegi Mahe village in the local government was completely ransacked, with over 5,000 people displaced. Also, 11 communities in Bukim local government with over 50,000 people were displaced. One of the victims of those communities is seated by my immediate right here. In a case of an emergent trend in Zulmi local government, A levy to be paid in gold was imposed on 4 communities by the bandits. Unfortunately, despite all this, the federal government's response has been grossly inadequate, characterized by a lack of genuine commitment and consistent effort to address the crisis.
Lawa revealed that from January 2024 to July 2025, bandits attacked 455 villages, kidnapping 3,216 residents, including farmers, and killing 230 people. He blames the crisis on the absence of security personnel in over 80% of state communities. A resident of Kibram community in Bukuyum local government area, Mustapha Yunusa, shared his harrowing experience at the hand of the armed groups terrorizing their communities.
Everyone living in Bukuyum is affected either directly or indirectly by the activities of bandits. They have killed people in mosques, on their farms, and in markets. In many cases, they abducted others as well. One man was killed in his home and his entire family was taken. We can no longer go to our farms for fear of being kidnapped, and cattle rearing has stopped entirely. People are now suffering from severe hunger. The security situation has worsened terribly.
The group is urging the federal government to work closely with the northwestern state to craft a comprehensive regional security strategy, while also calling on the international partners such as the African Union, ECOWAS, European Union, and the United Nations to support Nigeria's fight against terrorism.
On the northwest, we move to the north central, where in Benue State, the police command has announced the successful rescue of 6 law students who were kidnapped on July 26, 2025, along the boundary between Benue and Taraba states. The students who were traveling from Anambra State to resume studies at the Nigerian Law School Yola campus in Adamawa State were kidnapped while passing through the troubled border corridor. In a statement issued on Friday, the command spokesperson, SP Edetudeme, confirmed that the victims were safely rescued and reunited with their families in the early hours of Friday, August 1. The Nigerian Bar Association's president, Afam Osigwe, had broken the news of the kidnapping of the 6 law students to Nigerians at the NBA's North Central Regional Security Summit held in Makurdi on July 28, lamenting the escalating security threats in the region. Funeral prayers in absentia was offered during today's Friday prayers at Jumat Mosque, Police Headquarters, Jalingo, for the missing persons and last week's boat mishap that occurred near the collapsed Namnya Bridge. The prayer was attended by the family members of the missing persons and thousands of Muslim faithful. Meanwhile, families of Aisha Rawanu Maywad and Yusuf Baduru Bala were still missing in the tragic boat mishap near the Namnya collapsed in Gusau local government area of Taraba State, have through their council urged Taraba State government and other relevant agencies to search for the 2 missing persons. Bill Yaminu Mehanchi, a human rights lawyer on behalf of the families of the missing persons, has equally urged the Taraba State government and other relevant agencies to embark on the search of the missing persons. He stated further that despite the emotional, spiritual and humanitarian urgency of this situation, the official response has been grossly inadequate. From the north we go to the south. The cost of housing in Lagos has continued to rise, leaving many residents struggling to cope. From skyrocketing rents to outrageous agent and agreement fees, finding a home has become a heavy burden. While some blame landlords and agents, others say the current state of the economy is the root cause. The report.
Across Lagos, renting a house is becoming less affordable for everyday citizens. Most tenants says that rents are skyrocketing, while additional costs like agent fees and agreement fees are becoming a means to exploit them of their hard-earned money. Michael Omaduku describes housing costs in Lagos as outrageous and links the high rents to overpopulation and high demand. He criticized agents and landlords but believes agents are exploiting the system for quick money, while acknowledging that few landlords charge modestly.
I feel One of the reasons is because of the high demand, because of the population. People are much. I know economically when the demand is high, of course price will increase. But then I feel the price still is too much. For instance, averagely if you want to rent a 2-bedroom flat, 2-bedroom apartment, for a year you'll be asked to pay say 1.2 million, especially for the initial payment. 1.2, that's much, and probably some maybe subsequently could be like 700, 800. It's high. If you compare it with what people earn, even if you're a business person, it's quite high. Then apart from that, agent fees also very, very high.
Agent and landlord fee, everything come behind. They collect 268,000 for me. So you can see that just a single room, and they collect that kind of huge money for me. But although from that area, it's the only room that I see that is very cheap. So it's 9,000 per month. So everything come behind. A year is 108.
Okolo Jewel, another Lagos resident, says rent is so high that even existing tenants face quick eviction notice as landlords seek higher paying occupants.
Landlords, they will take 1 year, some will take 2 years, but whatever amount you pay, there is agent and agreement is 50% of whatever amount you pay. And in those days, some landlords will not even want to take 1 year. But now, taking 1 year is not an issue to them, because even after 1 year, they are ready to eject you. So what they are after is their agent and agreement. And when you complain, they say cost of building material is high and tax is high. Tenement, what they call tenement rate, and what is property owner rate is high. So they blame it on government, they blame it on economy.
Prince Kingsley Duro says the agents are the main drivers of rent increase by influencing landlords to charge more.
Agents are the number one problem. Number one problem is agents. Agents are the people influencing the landlord to increase for them to make more money. Imagine you spend a house, you pay a house, you rent a house for 1 million naira. Agent will collect 200,000. Agreement will collect 200,000. At the end of the day, you still pay damages. It's not easy. It's not easy. So the government needs to really work on it.
As the cost of renting in Lagos continue to rise, many residents are left feeling frustrated and financially strained. While some call for government interventions, others urge full implementation of Lagos laws on housing.
Two more stories. As the world marks International Friendship Day today, Nigerians have called on government at all levels to actively promote friendship, harmony and mutual understanding across cultures, races and religions towards building a better country. Jonathan Awayai spoke with a cross-section of residents in Asaba, the Delta State capital.
The International Friendship Day is observed to promote friendship and fellowship among all humans. This year's theme focuses on forging friendship in a complex world. Some citizens underscore the role of friendship in resolving community conflicts, pointing out that without mutual friendship and understanding, peaceful coexistence will be difficult.
And the moment you are in good friendship with the other, it opens your doors of success in life.
From the family angle, the respondents noted that friendship was the foundation of any successful marriage. They admitted that disagreements are inevitable, but pointed out that resolving them without third-party interference strengthened bonds.
You will call somebody your friend, you will open your heart to him, not knowing that he has another means in his own heart.
Others decry what they describe as the disappearance of a genuine friendship, blaming increasing jealousy, envy, and betrayal among peers. They noted that these days, friends did not wish each other well, while backstabbing was on the increase, and called for a return to the true values of trust and loyalty.
You have to just cherish every moment you spend with people. Cherish them and know that you cannot create a life, you cannot take a life. Love one another.
Despite the differing opinions, some messages was clear. Friendship, when nurtured, promotes global peace, supports mental well-being, encourages dialogue, and fosters inclusiveness. Jonathan Anwanyai, Trust TV News, Asaba.
Establishing ranches may be the long-term solution to the persistent herder-farmer crisis and other related security challenges in Nigeria. Some herders and cattle rearers say the failure to phase out open grazing continues to undermine efforts to modernize livestock production in the country. In this report, Trust TV's Bello Musa visits a ranch and Fulani settlement known as Oruga in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State and brings us the story.
Ismail Musa is a cattle rearer managing a small ranch in Kabala Costin, Kaduna. He says rising insecurity is one of the major challenges affecting livestock production.
To hanyar da guda ɗaya ce ita ce kamar yadda kaga.
Only solution is to rear the cattle in our environment, as we can't operate a ranch outside the city due to insecurity. It's early morning in Rugan Alhajirwa, a Fulani settlement that once stood alone in the bush. Today, development is beginning to encroach upon the land.
To babu da matsalolin da ka addaba mu yanzu kamar rashin wurin zama.
Our main challenge is the lack of a permanent place to live with our cattle. We can't go back to the bush due to insecurity.
Kuma in mun ce mun koma ga daji kuma ga akwai matsala. Ka gane sadda mun ka zanna nan da bakin
a bush, and we have been living here with our cattle. Gradually, urban expansion has met us here. If we can get a permanent place, we can rear our animals effectively and we would have peace of mind. The herders here believe ranching and other modern livestock management methods are key to improving cattle production and resolving long-standing conflict. During the dry season, we struggle to feed the cattle because the grass dries up and we need drugs and medical care for our cattle. If the government provides areas for ranching, the cattle defecation is money we can preserve and sell to farmers. As the sun rises, children and youth set out with their cattle, grazing them further away as urban expansion from Kaduna City reaches their doorstep.
There are about 200 children in this Fulani settlement called Rugan Alhajirwa, but none of them are enrolled in school.
We do not send our children to school because they are responsible for attending to the cattle. And the cattle you see will not reach their grazing grounds until approximately 2 to 3 p.m. There are no schools here, and though there are nomadic schools at some places, but there are no teachers.
Those grazing reserves were aimed to be gazetted, developed, and provide a permanent shelter for our pastoralists, the nomadic pastoralists that are moving from one place to another for greener pasture. So that is the starting point. Those grazing reserves are there up to this very moment as I'm talking to you. There is an enabling law called the 1965 Grazing Reserve Law. We have to revisit those grazing reserves and start from there. Now, when
11 states have so far indicated interest in adopting ranching as a way to curb the long-running and often violent clashes between herders and farmers, a crisis that has claimed many lives. But experts say intentions are not enough as ranching requires strong policy support, infrastructure, and long-term investment.
When you said you want to start ranching overnight, It is as if you are telling every farmer in Nigeria to start practicing mechanized farming overnight, that nobody should be seen holding a hoe. Is it possible? Practically impossible. How much do you need of a land to start ranching? How much do you need to provide the feeding? How much do you need to provide the actual stock? That is the animals themselves. How much do you need to improve them? That is by artificial insemination.
Experts warn that without a full transition away from open grazing, the over $100 billion livestock industry, largely based in northern Nigeria, will remain at risk. At the time of filing this report, the Kaduna State Ministry of Agriculture was yet to respond to inquiries regarding the issue of ranching. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Moving on Adamawa State, the government has upgraded and commissioned 12 livestock markets as part of efforts to strengthen agricultural value chains, empower rural communities, and improve food security. This is even as livestock remains a major economic driver in the state, contributing significantly to internally generated revenue. Trust TV's Gibson Soadigo reports from Yola.
Valued at billions of naira, livestock is a major contributor to Adamawa State's economy. To further tap into this potential, the state government is investing in market modernization and infrastructure development aimed at improving market access and expanding opportunities for economic empowerment. 12 livestock markets across the state have now been upgraded and commissioned.
There are 5 livestock markets and 7 grains markets. The essence of upgrading this market is for this market to serve as an integral element of the design program in order to enhance and perpetuate increased activities as relates to production, aggregation, and processing within the value chain of agriculture in this state.
Commissioner for Livestock and Agriculture, Tijani Makshak, emphasized the strategic role these markets play in supporting rural livestock and enhancing agribusiness. During the commissioning ceremony, Governor Ahmad Murfinta, represented by his deputy Kaleta Pofarauta, said the ADAS program is designed to promote the growth of small businesses along the crop and livestock value chains, leveraging the state's comparative advantage in agriculture. The initiative also includes a guarantee scheme to give financial institutions the confidence to lend to farmers and agribusiness operators.
In recognition of the key role markets play in the agricultural ecosystem, the government supported the ADAS program in upgrading infrastructure, building drainages, providing security, and generally improving the business environment in 12 markets across the state.
Upgraded markets are located in Ganye, Guring, Mubi, Tingnu, Shigari, Gurore, Song, and several other communities, positioning them as hubs for livestock trade and economic development. Gibson Soadigo, Trust TV News, Yola.
The Jigawa state government has rolled out a comprehensive empowerment initiative targeting transport operators and meat traders across the state. The move is part of efforts to stimulate grassroots entrepreneurship and boost the local economy. The report.
In partnership with the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, and the Jigawa State Association of Butchers, the state government distributed 36 commercial vehicles and disbursed substantial financial grants under a revolving loan scheme. As part of the intervention, 15 animal dealers each received 5 million naira, while 38 butchers received 1 million naira each. The grants are aimed at increasing productivity, strengthening the meat supply chain, and improving business efficiency for beneficiaries.
So during our tenure, you are the first governor to do this kind of thing. Having met you in the government house, and having heard what all our members said about you. There's no other word than pray for you that, Your Excellency, you will continue to excel. You are an achiever, a silent achiever. Like I've said, when I was in government house, I only consider you like woman, Khalifa's woman, who love his people. Khalifa's woman, used to go out to go and bring food for the people during his time.
I see this government as ours. That is why we are not tired of supporting the governor, because he is on the right path. The governor has completed all the inherited road projects and even constructed new ones. What President Bola Tinubu is doing for us is commendable. He has continued with the railway project, empowered our people, and most recently launched the distribution of 75,000 naira to the less privileged. We are truly grateful. The program, implemented through the Jigawa State Agency for Youth Empowerment and Employment and supervised by the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Investment, is part of Governor Umar Namadi's broader vision to expand internal commerce, generate jobs and reduce poverty at the grassroots level. He has initiated 48 new roads, covering a total length of 977 kilometers. When combined with the roads he inherited, it totals 1,317 kilometers. I don't think there is any other government that has done this much. Speaking at the plug-off ceremony, Governor Namadi emphasized that the initiative reflects the developmental strides achieved under President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. He noted that the empowerment aligns with the federal government's economic transformation drive and demonstrates 2 years of visible progress under his administration.
At the same time, I also believe that serving passengers, customers and owners of goods to be transported very efficiently and safely is of utmost priority to the association. For any supply chain to work effectively and efficiently, whether in agriculture, commerce and industry, or trading and manufacturing, the services of NURTW will be a critical element or component of that value chain.
In a show of political solidarity, the chairman of both the NURT and Butchers Association announced a campaign to procure presidential and governorship nomination forms for President Tinubu and Governor Namadi respectively. They kickstarted the initiative with a deposit of 2 million naira, citing their unwavering belief in the leader's visions and the need to ensure continuity in governance. The program is expected to significantly enhance wealth creation, strengthen food supply systems, and improve commercial mobility across Jigawa State.
The major boost to healthcare delivery in Borno State, the state governor Babagana Zulum has donated 1 billion naira to the kidney center of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. The governor made the donation during the commissioning of several projects in the state capital. The hospital also honored President Bola Tinubu by naming its ICT center after him. Trust TV's Beatrice Kurutsi reports.
The 110th regular meeting of chief medical directors and the commissioning of new health projects in Maiduguri kicked off with the unveiling of key facilities, including the Brigadier General Abba Kyari General Hospital, the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital's College of Nursing, and a molecular laboratory. At the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, newly commissioned projects include the Bola Ahmed Tinubu ICT Center, a radiology unit, as well as dedicated heart and stroke centers, among others. Governor Babagana Zulum announced a 1 billion naira donation to support kidney transplant patients at the hospital, with 250 million to be disbursed in quarterly installments. He also revealed that several new health facilities across the state are nearing completion and will soon be commissioned to boost access to quality health care. Meanwhile, the coordinating Minister of Health, Muhammad Pati, described the projects as a reflection of President Tinubu's renewed health agenda, aimed at transforming healthcare and promoting national unity.
It's important because we take care of patients, we prevent diseases, we do primary health care, we have hospitals, but there's a larger objective that is already beginning to manifest. Health is one sector that the president is trying to use to unify this country.
There's ongoing construction of General Hospital in Shafa, in Uba, Mafar, Chikwa, Maiduguri, Gubio, and Ganda local government areas of the state. I want to assure you that these hospitals will be equipped with modern health facilities and inshallah will be commissioned this year.
The centers that we have established, especially the International Radiology Center, the Heart Center, the Stroke Center, they are all related to endovascular treatment. If I say the funding that is coming to the hospital to sustain this project is going to be difficult. If there is a way, if we can establish a national institution for vascular diseases, I think putting these three structures will help Nigeria a lot and reverse the medical tourism.
It is hoped that the commissioned projects will not only serve local communities and reduce patient referrals, but also curb the trend of medical tourism abroad. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
In business, the Natural Oil and Gas Suppliers Association of Nigeria has warned that the Dangote Petroleum Refinery's plan to bypass existing distribution channels and supply refined petroleum products directly to end users would lead to a nationwide disruption, long-term product scarcity, and the collapse of existing supply networks. The oil and gas suppliers called on the refinery to halt its plan and seek further dialogue before commencing the distribution of products to end users, urging it to learn from what happened to non-functional refineries under the management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. They also called on President Bola Tinubu to intervene in the issue, stressing that Dangote alone cannot handle nationwide distribution of products sustainably. The Nogasa National President Bennett Curry made the call during the association's annual general meeting held on Thursday in Abuja. However, an official of the Dangote Group described the position of the dealers as anti-Nigeria, arguing that the plan by Dangote was to remove the cost of logistics and the movement of petrol nationwide. Reacting to the development, the national president of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Billy Gillis Harry, said Nigerians should not rejoice yet over the announcement by the Dangote refinery as he backed the sister oil marketing group, Nogasa. On a foreign scene, Angolan President João Lourenço praised security forces Friday for quelling unrest that claimed 30 lives over 2 days, but rights groups accused them of killing defenseless people. Dozens of shops and warehouses in Luanda were looted and vehicles attacked on Monday and Tuesday when a strike against the fuel price hike descended into some of the worst violence in the oil-rich country in years. The unrest spread to several provinces, and police say that by late Thursday they had confirmed 30 deaths, including of a police officer, with more than 270 people injured, among them 10 members of the defense and security forces. The police did not say what caused the deaths, but civil society groups and opposition parties blamed the security forces, who are regularly accused of using excessive force against demonstrators. Rwanda and Democratic Republic of the Congo held the first meeting of a joint oversight committee on Thursday, taking a step toward implementing the peace deal agreed last month in Washington, even as other commitments are yet to be fulfilled. The African Union, Qatar, and the United States joined the meeting of the committee in Washington, which was established as a forum to deal with implementation and dispute resolution of the peace agreement. The deal in June between Rwanda and Congo marked a breakthrough in talks held by U.S. President Donald Trump's administration, which aims to bring an end to fighting that has killed thousands and attracted billions of dollars of Western investment to a region rich in tantalum, gold, cobalt, copper, lithium, and other minerals. In the Washington Agreement, the two African countries pledged to implement a 2024 deal that would see Rwandan troops withdraw from eastern Congo within 90 days. It also said Congo and Rwanda would form a joint security coordination mechanism within 30 days and implement a plan agreed last year to monitor and verify the withdrawal of Rwandan soldiers within 3 months. Congolese military operations targeting the Democratic Forces of the Liberation of Rwanda, FDLR, a Congo-based armed group that includes remnants of Rwanda's former army and militias that carried out a 1994 genocide, are meant to conclude over the same time frame. It's time for sports with Adeni Ajishafe.
Nigeria and Egypt have secured their places at the 2025 World Youth Championship slated for Romania after emerging victorious in the Under-19 team event. At the ongoing ITTF African Youth Championship held at Molade Okoya Thomas Hall, Teslim Balogun Stadium, Lagos. In the boys Under-19 category, Nigeria staged a dramatic comeback in the semi-finals, overturning a 0-2 deficit to defeat Egypt 3-2. The final proved more intense as the hosts battled defending champion Tunisia in a thrilling 3-2 encounter, despite Tunisia's star player Wassim Messid claiming two hard-fought 3-2 victories over Mathieu Kuti and Abdelbazit Fatai. In the decisive match, Al-Fatai delivered a commanding 3-0 win over Mohamed Kalofi to seal the title and mark Nigeria's return to continental glory after missing the 2024 edition. Algeria and Egypt claimed bronze medals for their effort. In the girls Under-19 final, Egypt reaffirmed its dominance with a commanding 3-0 win over Nigeria to claim its fourth consecutive team title and the sole continental ticket to the WC. Team captain Miriam Younes led the charge with a 3-0 victory over Aisha Rabiu, followed by Abiba El Hamsoli, equally dominating 3-0 win over Favor Ojo. In the final match, Kabirat Ayola put up a good fight, taking the game off Nozaki. The Egyptian held firm to win 3-1 and complete the sweep. Meanwhile, Team Nigeria continued its impressive showing as Godwin Osaretin clinched gold in the women's cycling road race event. Osaretin edged out Algeria's favourite Shemini Sousan, who finished 4 seconds behind in a thrilling finish that had spectators off their seat. Team Nigeria secured a total of 11 medals, comprising of 3 gold, 4 silver, and 4 bronze medals at the African School Games in Algeria. That's Sport News. I'm Adini.
That wraps up this hour tonight on Trust TV. For more of our news, programs, documentaries, follow us on our social media platform and on our YouTube live stream. On behalf of the news production team, thank you for joining us tonight. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Good night.